If a man doesn't like me, it doesn't make me want him more. It makes me want him less because you clearly have terrible taste. Figure it out.
Say I'm lying. There ain't no single fine man with no kids that got everything together that's looking for a single woman with no kids that got all her together. Say I'm lying. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Where you at? Let me see.
I know so many great single women. So many great single women. I don't know where all the dudes. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Make the first move. Just come on. But man, they just...
You know, the first move is become a great single guy.
Like,
that's a big move right there.
I know. I know. But...
Where the have all the good men gone?
Where are they?
It seems that no one has manners anymore. Men hit me up for a booty call all the time. Trust me, I read your DMs. Whatever happened to hi or how are you? You can't have riz without having some class. Practice good table manners, be a gentleman or a lady, and for the love of God, wear something chic. Can't get a second chance to make a first impression.
Y'all want me to say I'm not hurting. Y'all want me to say I don't miss my husband. Y'all want me to be out here in these streets. I don't want to be in the streets. I want to be a wife. I want to cook for my husband. I want to take care of him. And I want to do what he needs me to do. That's what I want. I don't want to be trying to go to no club or trying to be with different men.
Wait, what'd you say?
I know you're watching football all day, so I'm gonna go get you some more beer and make some wings for lunch. And I was also thinking that we could hang that TV outside so you could have 2 games at once. Why are you crying?
It's just the first time that you've said that you've loved me in a while.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, I know that there are good guys out there. Like, I truly do know that. But can someone please tell me where they are? Because clearly they are not where I am looking.
Tell me, when did the bar get so low? Tell me, where did the good ones all go? Tell me all kinds of things, 'cause you'd say anything just to get me alone. Used to think that the rush was a good thing. Heart jumps from the floor to the ceiling. Lying there in your arms, should've heard the alarms, but I wasn't listening.
Hi, I have a question for the class. What are single men doing, and where y'all at?
At the house minding our business and trying to make some money. But I tell you what we ain't at, in them streets. Hell, because the only thing in them streets is undiagnosed venereal diseases, unresolved mommy and daddy issues, insecurities, BBL booties, and people that's already in a relationship. So the best thing for you to do is get you a whole lot of business and mind it. Because if you don't, the only thing gonna happen is you gonna f around and get a rash in a sensitive spot from somebody else's husband or wife.
All right, I'm taking over. What is your type? What are you looking for in a girl at Waste Management?
I'm not looking for a woman at Waste Management.
Okay, but if you were, what would that girl be?
You know, I think she come off with a good vibe, don't seem too stuck up. You know what I'm saying? Just good energy.
And so what are some green flags? Instead of red flags, we're gonna go with green.
If they wear like jean tops and jean skirts, maybe some shades, brunette hair, you know, that kind of thing.
All right, I think I might know a girl.
Yeah.
See, this is the difference between men and women. When a woman gets mad, she degrades herself and becomes a When a man gets mad, we go outside and get money and better our lives and get in the gym and make a lot of self-improvement. These get mad and the first thing they resort to is using their or using their mouth. You are a There is no excuse. You being mad doesn't deflect the fact that you turned into a mess. This gotta change. When a woman gets mad, go write a book, cook a meal, improve your skills, do what we do. Don't think with your revolt against the world, you thought.
I said she's. Alright, we're on Rainback Crossing. Skin, cross the chicken, cash out, let's go. Why are you naked out here? Yeah, you're dressed like a looking mad with I said she's. Does height matter in a guy, yes or no?
Yes!
Go step on the scale. Let's see. 180 pounds? You're tripping. Depending on the opportunity you get in life, it's based on how dress.
Exactly.
Wait, intelligent.
My cousin, who is younger than me, is getting married today. Meanwhile, I have credit card debt. I am in a toxic situationship with one of my exes. Last week, I was so broke that instead of getting an Uber to the airport, I had a random guy from Hinge drive me. And this year, I have had chlamydia twice. So far. Happy wedding.
She's jealous of the younger woman because that younger woman has managed to have her priorities intact young. So that younger woman is getting married. That provides stability, that provides a whole bunch of things. And she is jealous because she, at whatever age she is still acting like a badly behaved college girl.
Are all the good single men being held in captivity somewhere? Where are we meeting decent men? Like guys who are actually ready for a relationship. I was out with my girlfriends last night. We're all young. We're all hot. We have hobbies. We have careers. We go to workout classes. We're thriving out and about baddies. And we can't seem to find decent single men to save our lives. Hinge is a bust. Tinder is just for hookup. Don't even get me started about Raya. Where are the men? Who is holding them hostage? Please set them free. I am begging you.
I don't think I'm my type's type. Like, it's really kind of frustrating because I feel like this guy that I matched with that I really liked, that I was crushing on, like, what did he call me? No, he didn't say cute. He said something, but it wasn't hot and sexy as it was like cute and like, you're a sweetheart. I'm a what? I'm a sweetheart. I mean, I don't know. Is that code for like, you want to marry me or something? Like, what is that?
I just don't think the government, period, should be involved in any interrelational relationships, like any interpersonal relationships. Because if the government itself only does things to benefit the government. So one, I just don't believe that the government should be involved. But two, there's already other states that have this in their law. This is not a new thing. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, all. If you are involved in infidelity or of some sort, you're not, they don't offer you alimony when the divorce is final. Like, there's still a lot of stuff that goes into that. So it's not a new thing. I don't know why he thought it was new. But if the goal is to get people to marry more, I just don't see this being a reason why people would want to marry more.
It's new. This is why, as a man, you should never spend 1 second of your life being sad about losing a woman. It's because every second that moves forward, she loses value. Every second that moves forward, you gain value. Literally. I don't know what else happens every second. A new batch of women is coming up. Some of them might even be more cooperative and hotter and kinder. What are you doing being butthurt about this chick? There's a better on the horizon, my guy. There is always a better. What makes you think that you are so lucky that you picked the best out of 4 billion? You just happened to pick the very best one, and man.
I'm going to be so honest. A man should be happy that his ex moved on to a new guy way too quick, because that just means that she's so emotional that she cannot handle losing you. So she needs to forget about it in the fastest way possible by numbing her emotions and getting with a new guy. Be confident with it. If you're gonna be insecure and say in my comments, oh, that's not the case, okay? You create your own reality. I'm not gonna convince you otherwise. If you don't listen to my videos, then that's exactly what's gonna happen to you. Twerk with me 101, it'll be in my bio. And also, I'll make a YouTube video about this. I make YouTube videos about every single video that I make on TikTok. They're just more detailed.
Why are there so many women on the internet right now saying that false allegations have never hurt a man? I'm sorry, do you not remember what happened to Inquisitor Ghost, the cosplayer, Vincent, who himself live on TikTok? All because this little girl and her over-the-age boyfriend decided to come together, lie about her age to entrap Vincent in some sort of allegation. And then when Vincent, fully believing that this girl was an adult, turned her down, they still forged messages that made him look like he was a that caused him to take his own life. Also, are we just conveniently forgetting about Emmett Till, Johnny Depp? I can literally think of so many examples Us sitting here and making excuses for false allegations, being like, well, most of them are true anyway, so what harm does it do? A lot of harm, because it takes credibility away from victims who actually need support. You absolute Brussels sprout.
A lot of men and women don't understand. When a man goes for somebody who might not be as pretty as you, modern women are quick to call it a downgrade. Oh, she don't have the body that I do, or she don't have the looks that I do, or the fashion that I do, or the job that I do. He downgraded. No, he didn't. He didn't. Because when you walk into his home, you feel peace. You feel at home. Guess who did that? His girl, his wife. She did that because she doesn't have a spirit and an energy of chaos and drama. So no, he actually upgraded. I know you like to think because you drive a nice car and you have a nice house that he downgraded. He's doing just fine.
We stopped slapping, so they forgot that they don't have the strength of a man.
Right. Yeah, I think it's good that we stopped slapping.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man.
I would like to slap.
I'm looking at all these women fight men online. I was like, what?
That's why.
Yeah.
Because you stopped slapping them, and the female ego is ridiculous. But I mean, these women, like, they literally think what they see in the movies is real. I'm not saying just go around smacking random women.
Yeah.
I'm saying you start acting like you want to get in someone's face. All it takes is one smack to realize you're not as strong as a man.
When I grew up, I used to see my father hit my mom, and I hated it. So I was like, you know what? I'm never going to do that anymore.
And now your wife's out of control.
Oh my gosh. This is kind of like, I did an episode about this called Obsolete, but one of my line of questionings was, why are there so many women who say they don't need a man? And the women were saying things like, well, now men want to act like women, or they want to go 50-50. And if you want to go 50-50, then I just don't need you. And so I'll say, okay, well, does the fact that women no longer need men mean that the main reason women were with men was because they had to be? And if that's true, then wouldn't that prove that men were often seen as a utility to be used?
Yeah.
And wouldn't men now be better off without women if that's the main reason women would want to be with men?
Yeah, and I think that's true. I think that's what we're finding out is women don't like men as much as we previously thought.
I think men...
Yeah.
Men are in love, women are in business.
Yeah.
Something that I noticed as a woman, and I see the same thing in TikTok in real life, is when you have a life of leisure that you've created for yourself where you only have to work less than 10 hours a week, men don't like that. Men hate it when they have to work 40 plus hours a week and they ask you what you're doing today and you're like, oh, I just went to the gym, now I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day, and it's a work day. They get so angry. Like, the amount of men, like, they're like, what do you do? Like, who's your sugar daddy? Like, just because I don't work 40 hours, I don't get paid by the hour. That's not how I work. So that's why I don't work 40 hours a week. That's not how people get paid. There is a life outside of 9 to 5. But that's why I have to be careful in what I tell people. Like, I'll just say I'm at work now. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm just chilling for the rest of the week, trying to find a new Netflix show. Like, that's my job.
And a masculine man has aggressive tendencies, but he only uses them when he needs to. And that's what being a masculine man is. And a big shout out to all the hardworking men who don't let the emotions get to them. Because it's hard. It's hard. Women manipulate you. We all manipulate you. Your mothers manipulate you. Your sisters manipulate you. Girlfriends manipulate your friends, co-workers, random people on the street, grocery cashiers. Every woman tries to manipulate a man and use him to her advantage. Shout out to the men who recognize this and still do it. They recognize it and they still do it because they have masculine energy.
Hey, I got a question for all the good men. Where you at? Where you at? Where's your voice? I know you saw the files. I know you seen them. I know you know. Where you at? Where's all those good men that are ready to tear down the patriarchy and white supremacy and capitalism? Where you at? You're the protectors. Where's the good men protectors? Protecting the women and children. I know you read the files. Where you at? There are not enough leaders, let alone enough men leaders, speaking out about what is happening. There are not enough white men using their platforms and speaking out against the injustices and the harm that have been done to thousands of children and women. Where are you at? I can't hear you.
I'm very, very, very attracted to black men. Athletes, I feel like they're just so exotic looking. I also like their upbringing because we have very similar upbringing. As Russians and black people, we have very...
In America, black people in America and Russians have similar upbringings.
Very strict.
What does this mean? What does strict mean?
You know, you have to respect your elders.
Oh.
There's like, you know, if you have food on the plate, you have to finish the plate. Family values. It's like very similar. So a lot of times, you know, I can have a very deep and spiritual conversation with a black person. I can count on my hand how many times I had a deep and spiritual conversation with a white person in America. It is, you would be surprised. That's why when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm home now. Because it's like a lot of times it'd be like, oh my God, girl, no, I just can't. It's like, bro, speak words. I don't. What are you doing? Or it'd be so, you know, if you say something, you know, I haven't seen my family in 10 years. They'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm not asking for your sorry.
Yeah, we're just talking.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
And this whole thing of like this white American notion of saying I'm sorry about everything. It's like, why are you sorry? I didn't ask you for that. I'm not begging you for sorry.
Yeah.
I'm actually sharing my thoughts, and I'm expecting you to share your thoughts back.
Yeah. So we can have a conversation. That's what it is, back and forth.
But no, it's very tough. So that's why I'm like, most of my people, they're black. Like I don't really have that many. So it's either like immigrants or black people majority. Like that's just what it is.
So,
you know, I guess I've been naive in the world. I was out of the dating scene for about 20 years. Recently got a divorce. It's been like 3 years since we got a divorce. But the one thing that I never imagined would be the case these days is that I think people play more games now than they did when I was in high school in my early 20s. It just doesn't make any sense to me why people do the things they do. I'm like, I don't want to waste any time in my life with people that I know is not going to work out. But these people will just do whatever. It's like pointless.
Why is this spun against me? Because I'm a male. This doesn't happen against males. That's the bias that males are feeling towards them. If it was the other way around, and I had been arrested multiple times for a charge, you bet your sweet that it would be written in bold letters in that court order that I had been arrested and pled guilty to an act of. But this judge still caters to her victim mentality, the manipulation that goes on, because I'm a big guy. How could she commit an act of against me? And that really pisses me off. The judge doesn't just say, hey, there's been an act of this. But why do they do that? Because if they did that, then it would change this court order even more. So the judge is trying to be fair by screwing my children. And that's not right.
I did this crazy thing yesterday where I went out into the wild and I talked to men. I know. I needed proof that the men in the comment sections of my videos, the ones that leave horrendous comments, didn't represent how all men think. So I asked 6 men, 2 in their 20s, 1 in his 40s, 1 in his 50s, and 2 in their 70s, if they've ever held a door for a woman and if she's ever yelled at them for it. And they all said yes. If you're a woman and you're yelling at a man in public for holding the door for you, shame on you. Men hold the door for me every day, all different places. And you know what I say? Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And that is the only reasonable response. Anyway, I asked these guys, as a result of that, do you no longer hold doors for women? To which they all replied, no. One said, just because she's crazy doesn't mean I am. Another said, just because she has no standards doesn't mean that I don't. And the last one said, she's a woman. I'm a man. That's how I was raised. I will continue to hold doors for women. And so my social experiment is done, and the men in the comment section can just stay in the comment section.
A lot of modern women don't really understand this. There's no pension for being a 304. That's not it's not a life. You know, that's not a life that you want to retire into. There's no penchant for it hitting the wall. It's not a life that you want to retire into. Again, at some point in time, you know, and like I say, you know, we all make mistakes. We all do some stupid stuff. The problem with modern women is they stay in that silly stuff for a long, long time. And then they find themselves not able to get out of it because they think that their standards, because they've grown, can outweigh their past. You can keep on dreaming. But like I said, at some point in time, you need to get out of that life. And I would say sooner rather than later.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be toxic, but one thing I will for sure do is leave a good alone. At this point in my life right now, I'm not good. So when I meet a man that like genuinely wants to treat me good, one or two things happen. I be trying. I'm not gonna lie. I be trying to listen. But I don't listen. I don't listen and I crash out and I'm still hurt and then I bring up my baby daddy for everything. And they don't be deserving that. They don't be deserving that at all. My little situationship had to come to an end because honestly, I'm crazy. I'm crazy and I'm not ready for love yet. I'm not ready for love, and somebody who's ready for love deserves to be with somebody who's ready for love. People don't understand. When I tell y'all I'm emotionally aware, I'm really emotionally aware because this is really what I have to do. Like, it hurts. It really be hurting, but it's like, you gotta let them go. You gotta let them go because you know you the problem. Like, I know I'm the problem. I do. I do.
I don't know about you, but I think guys put themselves in the friend zone. I don't think women do it. Because to me, if a guy is placed in the friend zone, he has placed himself in there because he had the anticipation that he was going to date a woman or get to sleep with a woman, and she said no. So it's easier for him to put a label on the rejection so that he doesn't feel rejected, and then that places the blame on the woman because she's the one who said no. If a woman says no, it's because she's not interested. If she's not interested, it's not because you're not a good person, it's just that you're not a match for her. So as a guy, you need to be able to understand that you are going to have rejections. That's just part of the process. And it doesn't mean that we've friend zoned you or we've put you in the nice guy category. You've placed yourself there in order to feel better about a situation in which you were rejected. And again, it's okay to be rejected. It's just a redirection saying that you are not a fit for said person. But if you want to continue to pursue said person and you are still attracted to said person and you say, well, you friend zoned me, you're the one saying that the woman said no and you didn't feel good about it. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? Put it in the comments.
This comment reads, the same way ladies say to find a man who wants to be a husband and a father, men need to make sure they find a woman who wants to be a wife and a mother, not a woman who wants a husband and kids. And to that point, the amount of women that say that men are not involved, that would go against this whole fatherhood aesthetic that this woman is trying to claim that there is. Because what fatherhood aesthetic are you getting if you're claiming that men are not involved? Not only that, let's not forget, let's rewind back to Father's Day when the amount of women that came online and wouldn't even let these men have one single day to celebrate their fatherhood. They would rather eat dirt than celebrate Father's Day. And it's so weird because how can you try to push this narrative of fatherhood aesthetic if the majority of women that come online say that they're single mothers in a marriage or they're single mothers and the fathers want nothing to do with them? Like, make it make sense. I just think that so many women project all of this onto the men because they are the ones that don't want children, don't want to be a wife, don't want to do all of the things, but they also don't want society to shame them for not wanting to be mothers in the first place. And there's your motherhood aesthetic. Okay, bye.
I wouldn't completely.
Never thought about it.
I've never 100% thought about it. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, we're friends.
How come it's a possibility in your mind, but for you, you're like, I would just never look at him that way?
We've been such good friends. I don't want to ruin the friendship.
How could you ruin a friendship by getting closer?
Well, you know, like when people take friendships into relationships, they're not meant to be in a relationship. They were always meant to be friends.
He just doesn't fit that box?
No, I wouldn't say that, because he fits all the boxes.
Then why not move the relationship further?
I never thought about it, honestly.
I never thought about it, honestly. Yes, she has. She thought about it several times, and she immediately put this man in the friend zone. The thing that trips me out, guys, and there's no attack on this lady or any other ladies out there, it trips me out how women in general will say that, I want my husband to be my best friend. I want my man to be my best friend. But they'll have a best friend for 10 years and won't make him their husband. It seems a bit oxymoronic, ladies. I'm sorry. It seems a bit oxymoronic that you will have someone so close to you that fits all the boxes, as she says, meets all your criteria, but you don't want to take it to that next level.
After you actually lose a good man, let me tell you the aftermath. Before you choose to lose this good man, you will try to find a man equivalent to the man you're with. And you will think that you could find better. But when you actually put yourself out there, you'll realize that there is no men left right now. And every man will try to use you for a certain thing. And you will look for that man that you left in other men. You will regret that man to the core, because you'll realize that there is no good people out there, and nobody loved you as much as that man loved you. And after that, you will try to go back to that good man, only to realize that that good man doesn't want you. And he actually found a good girl. If you have someone good in your life, cherish them. Don't think you could replace them.
Most women end up a reflection of their mother. Mama was a single mother. Mama was wild when she was young. Mama couldn't make it work with numerous men. And women like these mothers are the majority. Why do you think young people have the dating scene that they have now? Because most of society was raised by dysfunctional mothers. Ladies, if you left a good man to go live like a hot girl, that's probably what your mother was thinking when she was your age, and she wasn't willing to listen to nobody either. Y'all gonna end up like that 38-year-old eligible bachelorette preaching the gospel, all to end up getting backlash from the same women you trying to save.
I think my question is, why should somebody listen to you?
Can I jump in? Not to cut you off. What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
You see that? She just proved Kevin Samuels right. What does being married have to do with hosting a single show? They used to give Kevin Samuels the same pushback. Now Cam Newton is treating Kendra like Kevin Samuels used to get treated. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Kendra G may have criticized Kevin Samuels in that same manner when she did that response video to Kevin after she went on his show.
Kevin Samuels, you know, the one thing I forgot to ask you when I was on your platform is, where's your wife? Where is the woman that you are married to that can prove your thought process on what it takes to have a successful Black family actually works, because you have one yourself? But then I realized you're not even married. Not only are you not married, you have been married twice, divorced twice. So therefore, you mean to tell me you know all that it takes to have a successful marriage, but it didn't even work in your own life? Interesting. Can I jump in? Not to cut you off. What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
She got your ass.
You know, a lot of times for modern women, what really hurts them is that men, a lot of times, as modern women see it, men will choose the boring woman. Men will choose the regular woman, the woman that might not be all that in your eyes, right? But he's happy with her. She might not wear a lot of makeup. She might not dress the flashiest and most fashionable, but that woman is good to him, and she's peaceful, and she helps him in the same way that he helps her. And so a lot of times now, men are choosing calm over chaos. They're choosing a life of drama-free, headache-free, everlasting peace, right? So you can sit up there and talk about how they should get him. Why couldn't I? She's easy. He's intimidated by me, and she's going to put up with his BS. And really, that's a coping mechanism. You're just a loser. You're just a loser.
Men used to really yearn for women. You used to get in a fight with a man, and he would be outside your house with a boombox in the rain, singing his mother heart out, begging for you back, as he should, right? As a real man would. Now you get in a fight with a man, he's texting you, I bet. Now he's matching your energy like he's a mother girl. And you know why? It's because you guys let these men dog walk you in relationships, and they know they can spin the block whenever because they know your program is far from strict. They could up and then text you, what are you doing? And you're gonna fold. You're gonna text them back, and you think you're doing something by waiting a few hours or a day to respond to their message, but you're still responding. You're still taking them back after they treat you like. And that's why men don't yearn for women no more, because it's just too easy out here. It's too much access. It's too much accessibility. And it stresses me the out. Y'all need to get way more strict with these men. Like, the first time they move funny, move out the mother way, right? Make them big. Oh my God, please, I'll never do it again. Y'all don't even scare these men anymore, because within 48 hours, they're back in your bed. Back in your mother bed after they just exchanged bodily fluids with somebody else. Yeah, that's why men aren't yearning for women no more. So please do your part. Put down the juice, and let's bring back making these men work to be with us. Because loose boundaries won't get you anything but a loser man. Okay? Okay.
So recently I caught up with an old friend, and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple, and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, you know, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, you know, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work. She does that.
Bro has a highlight tape of getting tricked on. Even the server is smiling. That's why you can't settle, gentlemen. There's women out here. They'll spoil and pamper you too. You know, you'll get a return on your investment. It's not just a one-sided relationship and you just spending consistently on her. And she is holding that bill like she's used to doing it. She's used to it. This is what she does on the regular. So, gentlemen, be aware, there are women that they'll swipe it for you now. with no issues, no back and forth, no bickering. They'll do it happily over again. I'm telling you, gentlemen, there's women out here that really treat you right. I done been flown out before, you know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to have women spin on you. You know what I'm saying? So, gentlemen, do the right thing. And as his caption, or better yet, his title says in the video, choose wisely. You need to choose wisely. Like, you choose the wrong woman, that's the difference between you being drained and you being overly happy. Enjoy just living a fulfilled life. Like, think about it. One of it is you just being depleted. Another one is you being complete. Like, you know, like, it's just like you're fulfilled, you're happy. You don't have to deal with women that consistently just take and take and take. You don't have to continuously settle. That's how guys continue to waste their life as well. It's not just women that take away from you. It's women, you guys will get some girls and just settle with women where it's like, you're just wasting your money. And for what? Like, get with the woman that's actually elevating your life. And if you're struggling with your dating psychology, you need help with alignment, you need help with finding these type of women and also being attractive once these women see you so that they want to be in your presence and they want to see you multiple times. I will help you with your presence, your code approach, your flirting, your closing, everything. I'll fly to you in person and make sure that your dating strategy is completely sealed. DM me app.
I have a serious question. Where are all the single straight men? Like, I genuinely think there's an inventory issue. Because when I tell you guys, I know so many single women that are successful, beautiful, fun, funny, cool, intelligent, like amazing, amazing women. But between all of us, we don't have a single great guy that we can set the other one up with.
I don't really know where to start because she almost got every single point wrong in this video. Because I thought it was pretty common sense that everyone knows that most young men right now are single compared to women, especially in her specific age bracket. So if you're saying there's an inventory issue of men, that is definitely not the problem, but I'll tell you what is the problem. Is that in her own words, she's saying that, listen, I know so many beautiful, articulate, successful, amazing, beautiful, great, whatever you want to say, women, and I just can't find a single guy to go and pair her up with. Why do you think that is? Because girls are hypergamous, and for those who don't know what hypergamy is, girls only really want to date up or around their level. Typically, they don't like to date down. They're not going to date a guy who's less successful than them, who's not as smart as them, who's not as good looking as them. Typically, they don't date down. And in general, even though most of the comments did seem to let this girl know why, a lot of girls don't like when I make this point because it sounds like I'm not being empathetic to the struggles that women go through in dating. But overall, in regular dating, it is a less fulfilling process for the man. Because think of all the videos that girls make about how they wasted their time going on a date with this guy or that guy. Imagine the same thing, but like you have to pay for it every single time. So not only do you end up like wasting your time and energy like doing this process, you also like had to pay for it too. Literally made like 8 videos in the last week of girls who literally will laugh at the idea of ever having to do anything, pay for something, you know, give a man a gift, do anything for a guy. And you think that guys are going to be running, knocking down your door to be like, hey, let me pay for all your stuff. Let me do this. And like, you're going to give them nothing. I made a video on this woman who was going on a rant in her car saying how her friends were excited because the guy took her on a date. He held her hand. He opened her door. He did this. He did that. And that's the bare minimum. Those are literally very nice things to do, especially on a first date. And that's not the bare minimum, because then we argue what's the bare minimum for a girl, because I guarantee you there's really not much. Because I've seen countless videos of girls going on these rants about I can't find any good options for men out there, but then they literally laugh at the idea at having to do any single favor for a guy. What kind of man do you think you're going to get who's going to agree to those kind of terms? It's going to be a guy who doesn't have that many options. If you want a guy who's got options, you're going to have to be nice to him. I know that's crazy, but trust me, there's plenty of single men out there. It's just the ones that you want do not want you, and the ones that want you, you don't want. Because in this economy, sometimes being single is the smarter financial decision, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
Are the stereotypes about women true?
I continue with my take on stereotypes she is talking about.
Number 4, women are so emotional. This is the one I hear the most, and it's honestly so funny. Are women the ones taking pew-pews to school, or movie theaters, or a grocery store? Have you ever seen a woman punch a hole through a wall just because her favorite sports team didn't win? Are women starting literal wars because they can't figure out how to negotiate with other world leaders? I don't think so.
I believe with her argument, she wants to say that men are actually more emotional than women. That's a rather strong claim. Are women emotional? Yes, they are. Are men emotional? Yes, they are. Now, who is more emotional is a rather difficult question, as it depends a lot on what emotional even means. If by emotional, we mean things like anxiety, mood swings, emotional sensitivity, and empathy, then psychology research is actually quite consistent on this. Across large studies using the Big Five personality model, women on average score higher in neuroticism, which is basically the tendency to experience negative emotions like stress, worry, and emotional reactivity. This has been replicated across cultures and countries for decades. Women also tend to be more emotionally expressive. They talk about their feelings more openly and report them more. But that's only half of the picture. Men are emotional too, just differently. Men are more likely to experience and express emotions like anger, frustration, and aggression. And instead of talking about emotions, they are more likely to act on them. So once again, who is more emotional, men or women, would depend a lot on the definition of the term emotional.
Number 5. Women are gold diggers. If you believe you are entitled to someone managing the house, cleaning, and caring for your kids, which is a 24/7 job, by the way, while you get to go to your 9 to 5, she's not the gold digger. You are. And also, can I just say, you aren't digging for gold when you are the gold.
Miss, I don't know which world do you live in, but in today's world, it is common for both partners to work, to manage the house, and to take care of kids. And how is that even related to gold digging? And since you didn't really address this stereotype, let me do the job for you. First, we need to define who is a gold digger. I suggest this definition. It is a person who pursues romantic relationship primarily for financial gain or material benefits, rather than genuine emotional connection or attraction. Are there women whose primarily purpose when looking for a guy is material benefits? For sure there are, but it is hard to say how many women are like that, as there is no credible research on gold diggers, since this concept is too vague and subjective. If you ask me, based on my experience, most women are not gold diggers. Most of them do want genuine emotional connection and attraction. With that said, hypergamy is still a thing. In simple terms, it means that on average, women tend to date across or up, especially when it comes to income, status, and overall stability. But that has very little to do with gold digging. It is more about general preferences, the same way men, on average, tend to date across or down, often placing more emphasis on youth and attractiveness.
How long are y'all married?
Not long, probably 2 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
such a great guy, amazing guy, but we just didn't want the same things in life.
Okay.
He was okay with just love and, going to church and having a family, going to work and raising kids. And
You
I was
feel like you
I
wanted
want more.
way more. Yeah, I get that.
And I shouldn't feel bad for wanting more.
Did you feel like you knew y'all weren't on the same page before you walked down the aisle? So why'd you do it? What was the reason?
That's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
When a man proposes to a woman, that's a lot. And in front of people,
I didn't want to let my community down. They thought this was beautiful.
Look, he's like, I gotta say yes. After that situation, I'm gonna tell you what you don't want to hear, because someone should have told me.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna put that responsibility on them. But if someone would have been like, hey girl, you're not even happy right now.
He was happy.
Yeah.
Man.
And that makes it harder.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you have someone that loves you. But at the end of the day, love is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough because
Oh, I don't know what to say, but even as a woman, I'm confused, because 1 minute we want a guy who's good. We want a guy who is faithful. We want a guy who is committed. I mean, how many guys would you get to go to church with you, want to have kids, want to build a life with you and love you and be committed to you? You had all this and the guy was too good for you. You're saying that the guy was too good for you. Oh my gosh. What do we want? What are we looking for, women? What are we looking for? I don't even get it as a woman. I don't get it. We want good guys, and then when we get the good guy, he's too good. I feel like I'm not judging her, but I feel like for her to say that, oh, he was just good, at least she's honest enough to admit to it. But if you knew, why would you enter into such a commitment knowing that this is not the one? And I really do pray that the guy has healed. I hope he's happy now, because you see, this is the thing. It's women like this that make good guys become bad guys. Because I hope he will not be what's the word? I hope he's not going to be damaged by this and then he becomes something else. Because there are lots of women who want good guys We all want a good guy. We want a guy who is faithful, who is committed, who wants kids, who just wants to love, who is committed, who wants to go to church. A guy who is spiritual. Like, we want a guy who is very, very spiritual and is church going. Like, we want that. So I do hope that this guy can give someone else that. But I just hope that he won't change who he was when he was with her for someone else. Because, look, good guys become bad guys just because of things like this. So,
and what happens a lot of times with modern women who have these high standards is that they don't pay attention. They don't pay attention, and they don't really see that the competition around them, it heats up. The competition around them gets serious. The man gets himself together, and women like that. And so there's a woman out there that understands what a man is trying to do, and she says, I like where you're going. I want to go that direction too. How about I hitch my wagon to yours? And modern women think that they have all the time in the world, right? They think that they can be masculine. They think that they can be a strong, independent woman for the rest of their life. But like I said, you have women out there that are getting themselves together. Women that are making themselves ready. Women that decide maybe the 304 life isn't for me, and they don't get into it. Or maybe a woman that might have an experience, maybe a couple of times, right? Maybe even a handful of times. And she says, you know, there were some things that I used to do back in college that I'm less than proud of. It's not on the internet, but I'm less than proud of what I used to do. And so I'm just looking for a man to love me and, you know, kind of respect me and care for me. I've had a change of heart. And she finds that man. She gets herself together and she finds that man. And she doesn't withhold. She gives him, you know, everything that she has. She tries to provide for him. She tries to nurture him, respect him, follow his lead, cooperate with him, and all those other things. All you modern women continue to raise your standards and continue to look down on her and look down on the man who got with her because they're living happily and she settled. She's a baddie. She is a baddie. She's pretty, but she's a baddie because her attitude is good. She's a baddie because she realized, well, you know, I do understand that my past is, I was doing some weird stuff. I was out there doing some weird stuff. And so I gotta accept that. He knows that. And he does accept that. It does make him feel uncomfortable in some ways, but you know, I'm not expecting a millionaire. The man makes $50,000 a year. He's a good guy. You know, he's moving up, working his way up to supervisor. In about 10 years' time, that man becomes a supervisor and a manager, and he's making a little bit more money. All you modern women are still out there talking about what you're not going to settle for.